The afternoon sun beat down on the dusty farm road as a young mother struggled with 2 heavy grocery bags. Her baby nestled against her shoulder. She had just come back from town, hoping for a peaceful evening. But peace was never guaranteed here. A group of local troublemakers leaned against their trucks near the entrance of her land, watching her with smirks. They saw only a single mother, vulnerable and alone, trying to raise a child on a quiet farm. They had no idea who she really was. Her name was Sarah Mitchell. To them, she was just that poor farm mom, living on the edge of town, someone they thought they could intimidate. But in the courthouse downtown, Sarah carried a very different title: state attorney. She had prosecuted some of the toughest cases in the state, standing firm against crime and corruption. Yet she kept her personal life private, choosing to raise her infant daughter away from the chaos of the city. The bullies began by mocking her. "Hey, farm girl. Need help carrying those bags? Or maybe you can't handle it without a man." Their laughter echoed across the fields. Sarah kept her composure, her baby shifting in her arms. Inside, her heart pounded. Not from fear for herself. She knew how to stand her ground. But from fear for her child. She had worked too hard to create a safe life for her little girl to let anyone threaten it. That night, Sarah sat on the porch as her baby slept. The stars lit up the sky, but her thoughts were heavy. Memories of her past played in her mind. How her husband had left when he couldn't handle the responsibility. How she balanced law school while pregnant. How she fought her way up in a world that never believed she could. She had faced courtroom battles far scarier than these bullies. Still, she couldn't let her guard down. She knew intimidation often escalated if ignored. The next day, the harassment grew bolder. The bullies trespassed onto her farm, knocking over her fence and leaving trash behind. When Sarah confronted them, they sneered. "What are you gonna do? Call the cops? Everyone knows they won't bother coming out here for you." The sting of their words cut deep, but Sarah refused to show weakness. She picked up the pieces, held her baby close, and promised silently they would not break her. Days turned into weeks, and the harassment didn't stop. The bullies spread rumors in town, calling her just a struggling farm mom. They thought her isolation was her weakness. But what they didn't realize was that every time they tried to push her down, they only strengthened her resolve. Sarah began documenting everything. Every word, every trespass, every threat. The prosecutor in her knew the importance of evidence, even if the mother in her wanted to just protect and hide. One fateful evening, the situation exploded. Sarah was returning from work when she saw 2 of the bullies leaning against her gate, one holding a bottle, the other laughing. As she pulled up, her baby sleeping in the back seat, they deliberately blocked her path. "You don't belong here," one sneered. "This land deserves someone stronger. Not a single mom with a crying baby." That was the last straw. Sarah stepped out of the car, her voice calm but firm. "Do you know who I am?" she asked, looking them straight in the eyes. They laughed, expecting her to crumble. But then she pulled out her badge, the silver emblem gleaming under the setting sun. "I am the state attorney. And tonight, you just crossed the line between stupidity and a felony." The laughter vanished. Their faces drained of color. She had gone from farm mom to someone with the power of the law behind her. She called the sheriff's office, and within minutes, deputies arrived. The bullies who had tormented her for weeks were handcuffed in front of the very woman they thought was powerless. But Sarah didn't stop there. She filed charges for harassment, trespassing, and intimidation. In court, she stood not just as the state attorney, but as a mother fighting for her child's safety. The case made headlines across the state, exposing the bullies and turning them into a warning for anyone who thought cruelty could go unpunished. As the verdict was read, guilty on multiple counts, Sarah held her daughter in her arms, tears filling her eyes. This wasn't just a victory in the courtroom. It was proof that no matter how small or vulnerable someone may seem, strength can be hidden beneath the quietest exterior. Back on her farm, life slowly returned to peace. The fences were repaired. The land grew green again, and her baby giggled as she played in the grass. Sarah sat on her porch, the same spot where she once felt fear, now filled with pride. She had fought battles in the city and on the farm, and she had won both. The message was clear: never underestimate a single mother, especially one who carries both the heart of a parent and the power of justice.